Welcome back to the APP Houston Open. Beautiful day for some pickleball here in Houston on championship court right now. We have Jessica Wilcox, 29 years old, out of Phoenix, Arizona. Played her collegiate tennis at Ferris State. She and her partner, Audrey Brown, are up next for us here on championship court on this beautiful Saturday. Audrey, 26 years old, also based out of Arizona, Scottsdale. She is a club tennis and pickleball pro as well out there in Arizona. They will be taking on Allison Harris and Emily Ackerman. You're taking a live look at Emily Ackerman. She's 23 years old. Her partner, Allison Harris, there next to her. Emily, our New York City bronze medalist at the APP event there. She is out of Thousand Oaks, California, and Allison Harris is somebody who has slowly but surely become more familiar to APP fans this season. She burst onto the scene in Newport Beach, and now she's got 4 APP medals in 2023. Based out of Nashville, Tennessee, 30 years old. And this is going to be a good one here. Women's doubles action to get us started.
Again, we know and we've seen Emily Ackerman, Allison Harris. They've been here on championship court their fair share amount of times here on in the 2023 APP Tour season. This will be the first for Wilcox and Brown. Yes, it is early on in the day, but again, what is it? Is it going to come into a factor? The crowd's starting to settle in the Lexus VIP tent and here in the bleachers. Are they going to be able to step up their game on championship court? It'll be very interesting to see here.
Yeah, Wilcox and Brown were pushed to 3 in that first round against Sedkova and Eugenio, winning that one 5-11, 11-2, 11-8. So it'll be interesting to see here as far as Ackerman and Harris have been sitting for almost 2 hours.
Yes.
Since the draw started at 10:30.
Now that's something that we've talked about the weather quite a bit in our Open, is just the heat, the humidity, but that is another added aspect to playing professional pickleball, is just waiting. Sometimes you have 15 minutes, sometimes you have 2 hours.
And sometimes players, it all depends on the player too. Sometimes players are like, boom, 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 let me get at it. Some other players are like, I love the break.
Well,
Give me the break, and it all depends. And then, like today, like if I'm a player today,
I want a break.
I want that break. I'll take that 2.5 hour break or 2 hour break. I'll go sit, relax, change my clothes, and I'll relax and kind of get myself set. So, again, on a day like today, I think the break is a little bit more of an advantage.
This is a situation where, in reality, you're not going to sit down after a match and really, you'll get stiff. Or your muscles are starting to get tight. You're still staying loose. Whereas when we have those cooler conditions, that's typically when those players want to go back to back to back to back to back. Somebody like my wife wants to get hot and then just continually play. Because in reality, as you get a little bit more experienced in life, you seize up a little faster than somebody that's in their 20s.
Yes, and you talk about the 2 hour break, right? And talk about the 2 hour break, and it's not really a break. It's a break from their warm up, because here's the thing. This is Ackerman and Harris's first match because they had a bye. So they've been here for 2 hours, warmed up, and then have really been sitting because why too? There's no open courts. It's a full day here in Houston, and so no courts open. They're kind of been sitting around, so now they had to go through a full warm-up again and see where they're at.
Listen, whatever Simona Jojin does, take notes, because it clearly works out quite well for her. So if that's the method, if I ever play professional pickleball, I'm taking that note. Once you start, you do not stop. That is certainly going to be the case for us here in Houston. We are going to get started with this women's doubles matchup between these two teams and bring you live action all day long, because 3 gold medal matches are already set for Championship Sunday, and we want to know who is going to join them. Allison Harris is going to get us started here on Championship Court with the serve.
Side out.
Still trying to get a little bit of a feeling out process right now. The wind is starting to swirl here. Somewhat welcome for us in the booth.
Second server.
That ball just catches the baseline there from Ackerman.
0-0-2.
That ball going
Point.
long off Ackerman's paddle.
Oh, Wilcox and Brown are going to take their
1-0-2.
opportunities, both with a tennis background. They're going to come in and use that and use the aggressive play style.
That time it was
Side out.
Ackerman speeding things up, some pressure put on Audrey Brown.
0-1-1. Second
That ball
server.
getting on Emily Ackerman right at her feet. Again, trying to scoop that up. Got to clear those feet back up just a little bit. Give yourself some space.
0-1-2.
0-1-2, the score for Ackerman's serve. Oh, the ATP just misses off Ackerman's
Side
paddle,
out.
just a few inches outside.
Sounded like she missed
She
it.
caught edge guard on that one. The shape
1-0-1.
just wasn't there.
Second server.
Still a feeling out process almost early on here for both of these
0-1-2.
teams.
Excuse me. I'll recall. 1-0-2. Point.
I like the reach in there from Wilcox. Harris's forehand roll just sat up a little too high there. Tried to counter it,
2-0-2.
but Wilcox staying aggressive.
Side out.
So as we see yet another side out here ahead of Harris's
0-2-1.
serve, Dom, walk us through a little bit more of what you're saying, that feeling out process. How is that playing out here for these two teams?
So that
Point.
feeling out process is basically you're not very familiar with your opponent. So you're trying to get a feel what they're going to do with the ball. You're going to set balls on every spot on the
1-2-1.
court, sideline to sideline, in the middle, see who's going to take what, and then we're going to figure out where
Point.
we want to go, where we want to attack. So especially when you have a new team that you don't know much about, that's that
2-2-1.
feeling out process, trying to figure out where and what is going to be our best attack.
Point.
Nice drive there from Harris down the line. Brown jumping back to the middle. Just catching that one off the edge guard.
3-2-1.
Yeah, definitely. If you have a team that is more established, you've seen play or you've played against before,
Point.
you definitely have that approach coming into it.
And you could say that about Wilcox and Brown. They know Allison
4-1.
Harris and Emily Ackerman. They've seen them week in and week out, but you can't really say the same for Ackerman and Harris.
Point.
Some great
Timeout,
point
receivers,
construction
5-2-1,
happening
1
here by
minute.
Ackerman and Harris. Seen a lot of diversity already in terms of they've got some drives, some dings, some pressure dings. Stands out right now as we get ready for our very first, very necessary Tervis hydration break on the court here in Houston. Emily Ackerman and Allison Harris leading this first game 5-2 over Brown and Wilcox. Like we mentioned, it's about 84 degrees by proper temp here in Houston, but feels like quite a bit hotter. So I had ice in here.
Cheers.
At one point, it's already melted.
Yeah, mine's under the table trying to stay cool. I'm holding it under there because it's so hot
It
out.
is.
The
Everything is
ice
melting.
was gone by
15
7:45.
seconds.
And it usually doesn't.
No,
That's how hot it is.
Receivers, one
crazy.
timeout remaining.
But it's still cool.
Servers,
It is.
It is
timeout.
still
So
cold
refreshing.
water.
It's very cool. Yes, it does.
refreshing. So back on the court, we're going to get you back to live action here. Crowd staying cool as well. Lots of hats and sunnies.
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 Hey, coming from down
Time
under
in.
right there.
5-2-1.
Just trying to make you feel at home.
Absolutely. throw some zinc on the nose as well.
I offered you sunscreen.
Yeah, but it was.
It has zinc in
it was skin tone.
Point.
So right now, that feeling out process is kind of gone here for Ackerman and Harris. They know exactly what they want to do right now. They've figured it out the first couple points. They went down 1-0, and then ever since then, they've kind of really taken over and figured out what they want to do.
Harris just so lethal when she has that strong two-hand backhand.
Well, Brown and Wilcox trying to switch things up now. Kind of uncoiling, putting Wilcox on the left. Brown's had a couple of unforced errors.
Second server.
Ackerman just running through that third shot drop there, catching the net cord.
7-2-2. Point.
So Ackerman and Harris continue this run they have built up here in the
8-2-2.
game one. On an 8-0 run after, like you mentioned, Dom. Brown and Wilcox went up early. But now it has been all Ackerman and Harris for the back half of this game one.
Side out.
Slice left a little short. So side out here, Brown and Wilcox with a chance to dig into this lead.
That's a situation there where with Ackerman coming through with that backhand drop, just cutting across the ball, needing to stay through that. Think of the thought process is keeping the ball on the paddle a little bit longer. That way it helps you stay through the ball, you get the extension.
Harris doing a good job getting that ball, then getting out of the way.
That was a great job by Harris, like you just said, AJ, of getting back and getting that lob. Is a perfectly placed lob. Harris gets back, it's a perfect drop, but then Brown just trying to do a little too much. I like her taking that ball out of the air, but just a little too much.
Ackerman was sitting all over that forehand. I haven't seen Brown take a backhand down the line yet at Harris, so that's a situation Ackerman recognizes that the backhand's going to come cross court.
Point.
Time to speed up. Too long.
Tough ball right there to speed up from, too. Again, it's low, and again, she was just a little out of position. It caught between her legs. She was trying to speed up from a ball right in between her legs. It's tough, not in a good position.
So it's a game point opportunity here for Ackerman and Harris. And they get it done. Game one goes to Emily Ackerman and Allison Harris. They win 11-3. So next up, game number two. They try to make this as short of a match as they can to get out of the heat. Can they take game two, or will Brown and Wilcox have figured something out? We will find out the answer on the other side of this break.
Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
If you like to dink, then Pickleball Magazine has what you're looking for. Our bi-monthly print publication will help you become a better player with instructional tips, drills, and articles from the top teaching pros in the sport. And you'll become a healthier, stronger player with psychological, nutritional, and wellness advice from experts in their fields. Finally, if it's product reviews or the latest news, we have that too. To learn more or to subscribe today, go to pickleballmagazine.com.
From the Volpe family to yours. Fine cured meats we've been crafting since 1902. Our secrets are simple. Care comes from the time it takes to do things right. Character comes from the hard work and determination it takes to make it. Craft comes from the traditions passed down over 4 generations. Delicious doesn't need to be complicated. That's the Volpe way, where passion and love go into everything we do. From John and Armando and Lorenza and Diana. From our family to yours.
We save time when we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Which means more time
Wait, take a check.
Kyle, it's pickleball.
Every time. 002.
Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
The APP is presented by Selkirk, Rainstorm, State Farm, and Turvis.
Welcome back to the APP Houston Open Women's Doubles live action coming your way on Championship Court. Allison Harris, Emily Ackerman take game 1, game 2 underway.
Point.
That's a better ball there from Brown. Doesn't go as big with the backhand. Ackerman catches that one just a little late. The ball flattens out on herself deep.
Side out.
That's the key right there is what she does. That being Harris. She doubles up to the backhand side. Instead of going backhand
0,
middle,
1.
she goes backhand backhand and catches Brown.
Oh, what a recovery.
Oh.
But Emily Ackerman finding the spot in the corner. That point, though, had everything.
The strength of Allison Harris is the scrambling defense. They were out of that point to start with. Harris gets them back into it. Excellent lob there. Good recovery by Wilcox, but then Ackerman with the finish down the line.
Point.
That's something we see that really stood out to us in Newport Beach when Allison Harris paired up with Andre Mick, is just her ability to scramble on defense and keep her team in points that it looked like they were out of.
So confusion right there. So I saw the sign that was given to Audrey Brown, but I don't think she saw it. Right? We saw it, but I think she confused it and ended up I formation with Wilcox.
Great in football, not so much in pickleball.
Correct. You got a lead blocker in football, you're good.
Well, what Harris and Ackerman are doing so well right now, too, is they're getting Brown and Wilcox extended. They're going sideline to sideline and moving them around, and then Wilcox and Brown just have not been able to hit a solid ball.
Second server.
I like that reach in, though, there from Ackerman, because what's the key of what she's trying to do right there? She's trying to reach into the middle, but pull it back to the sideline and kind of catch Wilcox off guard.
Point.
A nice drop there from Ackerman, coming up the back of that one hard. Good shape, good top spin, gets that one to drop down below the net.
Side
Just misses.
She got so big. Her backswing came way back and just tries to punish this ball down as she looks over at Chad and I as we demonstrate it for her. And she's looking into the booth, just telling us, yes, I know that's what I did. And I know I shouldn't take that big of a backswing. That's one of the bonuses of us being so close to the court.
Hey, she's a good sport about it, too.
The perspective you have on your TV, very similar to ours live here in Houston. So it is one of the more entertaining aspects of calling professional pickleball is you start to learn which players enjoy engaging with the booth and which do not.
Point.
Allison Harris.
I get yelled at quite often. Not going to lie.
2-5-2.
One wide.
I don't know why. I think my voice carries more or something. You know.
Which is good. We like when you're projecting. It's good for broadcast. Not so good for when they can hear you. That lob.
I don't really have an inside voice.
Well, good thing you call an outdoor sport.
5-2-1.
Again, Brown just trying to do a little too much. That's a ball there where you roll it down the line and you keep the pressure on. You're not going to hit a winner off of it, especially with a small target there.
Point.
Oh, Ackerman gets away with one. She popped that up. That's right into the wheelhouse of Wilcox, but Wilcox mishits it into the net, and it's a 7-2 lead here for Ackerman and Harris. So, again, just taking advantage of some mistakes and kind of have their groove set here through game 2, do Ackerman and Harris.
Well, this is also, you're seeing with Brown and Wilcox the inexperience of this level. So, they're making the step up from 5-0 pickleball, starting to play a little bit more pro. And your margin for error is so much smaller, so much finer that if, you try to go for those winners or you try to go for too much, then you're spraying balls wide. And that's what we're seeing from Brown and Wilcox.
Well, because like you said, those margins for error from 5-0 to pro are so extreme, especially when you're playing an experienced pro team. We talk about it all the time of, okay, what's the key to a lower seed beating a higher seed is you need to play clean.
Yep.
Right? You can't make any mistakes. And you hate saying that, but you need to limit your unforced errors to 2, maybe 3 in a game to actually have a chance against a top-seeded team. And that's what Wilcox and Brown aren't doing right now, is playing very clean.
Yeah, as we see game 2, same story as game number 1.
Time in.
Brown and Wilcox taking a very early lead here in game 2, but just like game 1, it has been Ackerman and Harris.
There you go.
That'll help.
Use it.
Take a little love from the net.
Tell you what, if you could hit that every single time.
7-2.
You would do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Side out.
Good timeout. Good quick side out here for Wilcox and Brown. Now, just got to get back on the board.
2-7-1. Second server.
Like you always say, every comeback begins with a single point.
That's right. But right there again, looked like Brown changed her mind. Looked like she wanted to drive that in the last second. Decided to drop it. She was in between.
Point.
Ackerman pulling that backhand wide.
Well, she caught that one late. It got back behind the shoulders. It's a difficult ball to get on top of. But then when you try to take that cross court from behind you, you're going to pull across the body more.
Side out.
Good ball distribution there by Ackerman on that point. Forehand down the line for the winner.
Oh, yeah, she goes inside out forehand right there, and then what it does is it pulls Wilcox to the middle, and then she just goes opposite sideline.
7-3-1.
7-3-1 for Ackerman serve.
Oh, that's
Ricky.
Dirty right there from Emily Ackerman, and she made that look easy, but Chad, we know how difficult this shot is here. Just to take something off, you watch her just real short and sweet to the ball.
Yeah, hides it well. She set it up by going cross court there with Brown.
Getting a little help there is Allison Harris. So it makes it a 9-3 lead, for Ackerman and Harris here in game 2. Just 2 points away from moving on in our women's doubles action here at the APP Houston Open.
9-3-1. Second server.
Again, Ackerman just pulling across the body there. You see her standing up tall.
9-3-2.
Needs to make a contact a little bit further out in front.
Point.
And this sets up match point opportunity. Emily Ackerman and Allison Harris can punch their ticket to the next round with this serve. Emily Ackerman just too strong on that final point. It gets it done for her and her partner, Allison Harris, in a women's doubles action here at the APP Houston Open. We will hear from the winners when we come back.
18 years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped. Suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
SunMed, premium hemp wellness for targeted relief and recovery, daily calm and relaxation, a better night's sleep, and brighter days. Discover modern wellness products for every part of your day and every step of your journey.
The APP is presented by
Pickleball Magazine, Classic, Drip Drop, and SunMed.
And we'll take another look at match point here for Emily Ackerman and Allison Harris. Strong performance from them and the big finish there on the forehand side from Ackerman. They're moving on in the women's draw, and they're courtside with Dominic Catalano.
Back here on Championship Court, I'm with Allison Harris, Emily Ackerman. First time pairing up together. You had to buy the first round. You sat for a little while. How is it to get back out here and then play together?
It was a little tough, but we went out there and warmed up really well and just kind of ran around and got ready.
And then, Emily, you were dialed in cross-court, had that going. It seemed like early on it was a feeling-out process. When you're playing a team that's new to you, like you hadn't played them before, is that something you're looking to do, kind of feel out early on?
Yeah, I mean, I had watched them play in their first match, and they played fast. So I knew once we got to the kitchen line, we kind of just wanted to slow it down and just play into our rhythm and into our game. So once we got dialed in, I think we were playing great.
All right, well, on to the quarterfinals. Congratulations, ladies. We look forward to seeing you guys later. We'll take a quick break here on Championship Court, have our next matchup here at the APP Houston Open.